Well, we're back once again for another day of the Astro Weather. How is everyone, wherever you are, whatever part of the realm that you are in, whatever phase of your day or evening you are now experiencing? For most of us here in the North American and I guess South American areas, we're having our grand rising. And I managed to find a kind of a cool seasonal photo for today's thumbnail and background image. Starting to feel very fall-like out there. And it's a nice respite. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Who do we have here? Of course, number one with a bullet, actually with a wrench, Michael's sister Nina. What's going on, DJMC? Nora Rashid. She's here. She checked in at 10:50. Oh, look who's here now. Look who's here now. Yes, it's the Wonder Cat. Peaches the Wonder Cat. Peachy the Wonder Cat. Yeah, that's right. She's here for her morning dose of the Astro Weather. That's right. Here we go. Got to give her a little FaceTime. Bo Kabuki Theater. What's going on, Bo? There's she's DJ Pebblestone going to be rocking the house next week here in Kerrville. Insomnia hitting hard. Don't you just love those nights where you can't sleep? They're so much fun. Let's see. Barbara Boots, Double B. What's happening? Sue Leonard from way down under. What's happening, Sue? Good to see you in here. Ms. Behaving too. There's my man Thor at the door. Scott Jerzik. Buongiorno, Scott. Mr. 12th House. What's going on, my man? Whimsical farm girl Lori. Hi, Lori. Kanya Curtis from Greece. I gotta throw her up there. Very talented person. Astrologer, illustrator, you name it, artist. Very talented. Hey, listen, if you ever want to go to Greece and have a cool place to stay, you should reach out to Kanya. She'll hook you up. Susie G in the house. I saw a picture of your son, handsome young fellow, at his prom, and his girlfriend looked like she was a lot of fun. Let's see, who else do we have here? T. Jordan, literally in the house. Garden Girl will be getting a 3-day soak from Hurricane Helene starting tomorrow. I guess all you people in the Florida area, Tampa area, you're on hurricane watch. Let's see, Maria De Ange, ora tutti. I like that. Brady Herrera. Let's see. Big Dave Sullivan's here. What's up, Dave? Maya Rose, the lovely and talented one, saving Austin one tooth at a time. My man Seegert's in the house. Hello to all Neil resistant cybergnomes. Yes. Take those knee pads off. Moira, good morning. Good morning to you, Moira. Yes, we had a good birthday here this weekend. We had an adventure in Fredericksburg. I was looking for a pot. And you would think that the pot that I was looking for would be ubiquitous. It's a pot about that big, right? Maybe 2.5 feet tall, maybe. Sort of brown, ceramic, finished, not just fired, but finished with a glaze. Because I have some on my porch, and I have these. I'm into like desert plants, so I have this yucca that I want to plant in this pot, right, in a pot that matches the other pots. And I went to like 4 places. I couldn't find a pot that matched the pot until the last place. And I said, "Oh, look, we found it. We found the pot." And I took it up to the counter to get it rung up. It was $232 fucking dollars. I'm like, what? Why is this pot $232? I thought it was like a mistake or something. Well, it's from Italy. I'm like, who the fuck is going to know it's from Italy? You know what I mean? It's like, should I just paint from Italy $232 on the front of the pot so people will know the value of that pot when they look at it and say, oh, that's just not another pot he paid $50 for somewhere. My God. The world is going to pot. Then we went to this like major like ceramic pot metal sculpture place. It's in Kerrville. It's on Main Street. If you're ever there, you should go check it out. And we talked to the guy who's been there for a long time. In fact, I've purchased pots from him before. His name is Juan the Pot Man. And I asked him, so where did these pots come from? It was huge. A lot of them are really, really nice pots. And there's, I'd say 90% of the yard, the pots are from Vietnam. And the guy that owns the place goes to Vietnam once a year, makes his order, and then he waits for the pots to come in, on a ship from Houston. And that's it. That's his business. All these pots. Yeah, interesting business. Anyway. Green-Eyed Crow, what's happening? Nicole DePaulo, greetings. The Noga movement. Let's see. Helian Heart Rosie. Nugs. I know you'll like this. We're gonna do a little serious sports tonight, but it won't be too long. It'll be about an hour. Quick recap of the weekend, and your boy Bo Nix did a more than reasonable job. As the Broncos walked away with a win, I thought they were not going to get. So kudos. Let's see. Mary Grether. Hi, Mary. Warlanda. There was a woman named Warlanda. Lisa Ann White, the law. Keir Starmer is about to start his conference speech. Oh, my God. The people that represent us as our supposed leaders are so compromised and pathetic. And it only gets worse from here on out. Road Trip 1981. What is going on, Darlene? Deborah R. Moonsprout. Joan W. Rainbows and Butterflies. Sweet Woodruff from Dallas. PB. The Knight of Cups. We have an all-star cast today. Ryan, my man, the introspective woodworker. He's here. Denise Conrad. Pray for West Central Florida. All right. Let's see. How do we do this? We have to have the proper tool. I don't know if I have the proper tool here. The proper tool. All right, here we go. I'm going to use this hyperdimensional magical remote. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to program in the dissipation of the tropical event in West Central Florida. And there. Okay. Should be good. It'll be a little intense, but not as intense as it could have been. We just altered the frequency of that. Let's see. Yes, become a partner of the 11th house. Support the show. The shows. Sandra Wells is here. What's up, cuz? Jane Tones. Hi, Jane Tones. Shelly Meyer. Neil Smith. We'll be seeing Neil Smith real soon at the big event. Lives Outdoors. By the way, there are still a few spaces left. If you want to attend, If you want to attend, the link is still there. I guess we're going to have Evan Grimm showing up. He was there 2 years ago. Always good to see Evan. Lives outdoors. Whitney Palm. What's going on, Whit? Good to see you. Scrubbies. Hi, Tamara. Lynn, I have a package of coffee and other goodies coming for your event. Man, the Panamanian coffee is the bomb, and it's so good. Lena Winkler. Hi, Lena. Kelly B. Noah K. Plenty of aloha. Hey, Noah. Aloha back. Robert Sharp. Hey, Robert. Western Washington. Yes, I was a habitu of Olympia for a couple of years before it went nutso. I had a great time there, by the way. Yes, you can buy me a cup of coffee, metaphorically speaking. Thank you, Ryan. Soul Travelers in the house. That's right. Not too late to sign up. You can still get in, be a part of the action, be a part of the fun. Dave Sullivan, same shit, different day. Glemma Spank. We got an all-star cast here today. Fredericksburg is great, expensive. Fredericksburg is like Disneyland. It's like Disneyland. It's kind of a fake town. It really is. It's a fake town. But it is nice. And we had I lived there I moved to Fredericksburg in 2018. And then in 2023 moved here. So basically 5 years in Fredericksburg. I know a lot about Fredericksburg. Robert needs a pot, but not for pot. No. I remember when I was a kid, I started growing pot, thinking that nobody would notice. And my mother noticed these strange plants growing in the backyard, and she plucked them. I love succulents. They are so rich, almost like Pluto. Yeah, I'm a big kind of succulent fan. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Anybody new? Pot really has gotten expensive. Well, some have. When you're a potter, you make your own pots. I know, but that's why I pay people, because I'm not a potter. So I pay them to make the pot. That's kind of how this works. Not that I'm opposed, but I have to get a wheel and I have to get a kiln. And after I invested in the wheel and hours and hours and hours of fucking up to ultimately get a pot that I would like and then glaze and put in my kiln, I'd have about a $2,000 investment in that pot. In which case, the Italian pot would be a bargain. Josie's Jazzy Junk checking in from Mexico. What's happening, Josie's Jazzy Junk? Kimberly, expensive taste. Try the thrift stores. No, I'll file that away. Let's see. Claire's here. Hi, Claire. Clairvoyant. How much are Italian cauldrons in? Good question. Steve, I recently purchased a large cassava yucca plant from the local Mexican produce stand. I love these plants, especially in this part of the world. We should call the asteroid mini moon the Timberlake because it's going on a world tour. I kind of like that. Isn't Italy known for their shoes? Yes. Yes. And they're horny men. Let's see. The Donna Eve from New Zealand can't sleep. Well, you're in the right place then. I watched a PBD podcast with Stephen Baldwin. He's a trip. But I found out his daughter is married to Justin Bieber. They just had a baby. What will this do to his marriage? She probably knows. Good thing Dr. Longo moved to an actual home. Well, he would probably move into an ark, if not a home. Let's see. Are we caught up? Harry Bowie. Hey. I love saying that. Nayeli Cardenas. Hi, Nayeli. We got some new faces in here. Oh, we have a birthday. LES. Today is LES's birthday. All right, let me play a birthday tune and we'll get into the weather. Let's find a birthday song for LES. LES gets a birthday song. LES gets a birthday song. Let's see. Maybe I can just make one up. I'm feeling rather musical under the influence of Libra. It's tickling my artistic tonsils, if I had tonsils. Lost them a long time ago. Long time ago. Let's see. Okay, you are going to get the funny happy birthday fish saying happy birthday to you song. Here you go. This is for you, LES. I hope you enjoy funny animated fish and their pals, their crustacean pals. This is your birthday song right here. Here we go. Here we go. This is going to make this a special day.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's a great day. That's what we say. Happy birthday to you.
All right. What a beautiful birthday greeting. Happy birthday, LES. There you go. You know, has anybody in chat or watching this video ever thought about, and I know maybe some of you have already done this because you're a very sophisticated group, that you've actually placed your consciousness inside of that of another animal or an animal and been one with that animal? I always thought it'd be really cool to merge with a whatchamacallit, a jellyfish, like a giant jellyfish. Like that would be amazing, just to feel what that would feel like, right? And all the processes that go on, you like become one with that thing for a while. Like that'd be fucking mind blowing. That'd be mind blowing to become one with a big one, not a little tiny one, but a big jellyfish. Not forever, maybe about, I don't know, 5 minutes. And you come back to your body, like you'd be changed. You'd be changed after the jellyfish merge. Just think, if all of humanity could experience what it'd be like to be a jellyfish together for 5 minutes, and we'd all come back to our bodies, we'd treat each other a lot better. Some people would be drooling. All right, let's get into the weather. Let's get into the weather. Thank you all for being here. We're in Libra. Is everybody being a lot more polite and kind and more diplomatic towards one another? Isn't that the goal now? Well, we had that with Venus and Libra, which is now in Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio plays for keeps. Right? It'll sting their mate for life. That's what we're talking about with Venus and Scorpio. And what does Venus do? It comes right in, starts squaring Pluto. It's been there for a while, but it's there now. So the best and the worst come out in relationships with the Venus-Pluto square. You know, this aspect will be going on for at least the end of the week, 4 to 5 days, as Venus is in that orb. It'll start to separate about 6 days from now. We put Venus at 7 degrees, but for the next week, relationship, you got to watch. Here's what you got to watch out for with Venus square Pluto. You have to watch out for arguments and intensity around shared assets and resources. And this is one of the things that is the number one killer of relationships is money, assets, and resources. And it's usually the lack thereof. And when we get into this Venus-Pluto square, especially with Venus and Scorpio, it feels like there's never enough. Whatever it is, money, resources, intimacy, love, right? It's a very intense square. And so when we go through, and nobody's really immune to it, right? Just because, well, I'm not a Scorpio, I don't have Venus in Scorpio, right? But we're all looking at and investigating what our deep and ultimately unhealthy attachments are. That's the Venus Pluto square, and how much we obsess over those attachments. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be money, right? It can be. I mean, that's usually a cause of most challenges and issues in relationships is money. Money doesn't solve all your problems, but you can solve them in style. So we're in this zone now for about the next 7 days where we're looking at our relationships and our attachment to certain things inside of our relationships, or our attachment to certain things in general that we feel that we have to somehow obsess about and transform, or at least that would be the plan, to transform it. It doesn't always work that way. So I kind of got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, and I started obsessing about it's my seasonal obsession of YouTube views or lack thereof, right? And I just, I have to keep telling myself this story that people are unsubscribed, and people see it, and whoever sees it is meant to see, and it's all fine and good. It's all, I usually come to some place around it which is resolved, but every now and then I peek up, I'm like, how the fuck does that and this has even nothing to do with astrology or anything, how the fuck does that person have 25,000 views on this fucking video? How do they have so many subscribers? And so it gets my wheels churning in my brain. Well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm doing something. Maybe I should have a thumbnail photo. Those, everybody has their picture in their thumbnails. They'll make stupid faces, like, or right? Does that make you want to click on a fucking video? Somebody's thumbnail photo? Yeah, I'll do it. And it's like I have resisted doing the thumbnail photo. Maybe I'll do it for a week. I'll do thumbnail photos for a week, and I'll have clickbait headlines. Let's see how that works. Anyway, this is where we are. This Venus-Pluto square, and it's these intense cords and attachments and chains, and we're trying to break through and transform them. And a lot of it has to do with money, time, and resources. And it's usually worked out through relationship. We're kind of clearing that Venus Chiron opposition. We're about 2 degrees away from that. So to me, this is like offloading your pain onto another person. And it's like, be conscious of that. Be conscious of what you're offloading. Let's see. Let's talk about the sun. The sun is now in Libra, and everybody just looks better under the sun in Libra. Like a 4 becomes a 6 under the sun in Libra. It's just the way it is. It's just how these things roll. And we still have that nice grand trine going on. Except with Venus, we have the sun moving into position with Pluto and Uranus. We like that. We talked about that last week, the end degrees of Virgo. It's still there. It's still happening. So with Libra, now you want to be able to do things easier. Libra is the easy button of the zodiac. Aries is the hard button. Libra is the easy button. To me, Libra is always the path of least resistance. So we have a lot of resistance here, and then we have less resistance here. And two things are not mutually exclusive. They can both coexist at the same time. So with 3 planets in Libra, I'm always about the easy button. This, I think, represents the old, right? These are the old patterns that we're trying to break here. These are the old chains we're trying to break. Our relationship to ultimately Pluto, which is control. And then over here, it's like, well, there's a whole other pattern. There's a whole other stratagem to this, which is go with the flow and hit the easy button. And it doesn't mean that you take time off. It just means that you like to me, Libra, if you're gonna work Libra right, it's never truly balanced. It's kind of like when you have joint custody, it's never 50-50. Somebody's got 51. I mean, let's be honest about that. But that's how this would work, right? Like, so Libra would be, I think, the easy button would be the glass half full. So take a break from the things that you're trying to break or break free from, and sit around. And I have to tell myself this as well. This is my own medicine, right? That the glass is half full, and then you operate from that perspective. It's an attitudinal adjustment here, and see how your day or your night or your evening progresses. And this is going to be going on for a bit. That sun's going to begin to move out of this, right? Because remember, these are in earth signs. So we're getting the sort of the last degrees of this, but we also have Mercury here. Mercury's also in play with this grand trine. Mercury trine Uranus, Mercury trine Pluto. Okay, so let's add it all up with Mercury now. As you try to break free from these chains of control or others controlling you, or you're trying to control your own attachment to the things that you think will make you much more powerful and much more wealthy, or whatever those things are, right? There's a fast route through that. This is a speedy route through that. Mercury Uranus trine, Mercury Pluto trine. If you do the work and you plunge into the depth of your situation, you can resolve it quickly. It takes some innovation and being able to think a little bit outside the box. But Uranus is, the Uranus Mercury trine is rewarding that. So I would say overall, the energy today is very positive and will continue to be positive, even though we're going to be going through this crucible down here with this Venus-Pluto square. Mars is now in second decan Cancer, so that kind of dials up the scorpionic energy with Mars. Mars takes on a different connotation here at 11 degrees and moving into square here. And Mars has the square. What do you want, Peaches? Square with the sun. And it's just moving. The sun is just moving into square with Mars. And that's going to be happening for roughly, the next 10 days. Now, Sun-Mars squares are not bad. They are motivational. And to me, this is all about the underdog, especially with the sun in Libra, which wants to be fair and balanced. Libra is one of those signs that kind of connects into social justice. So expect a lot of social justice. And I'm going to use when I use the word now, social justice, I'm going to broaden the term. And it's not just about the SJW, although the SJW is a part. Like at some point, the energy is just going to run out on the SJWs. But I'm thinking that this is about not eating the cats, not eating the dogs. I find it fascinating that this whole cat and dog thing has come up with Mars and Cancer. And Cancer's being very domestic, right? It's a very domestic sign, and Mars is all about, protecting and the underdog. And so I think this is going to continue this kind of mounting tension with new people in a new land with new dietary needs. This tension is going to continue. And it's not just that. We're also talking about Tren de Agua or Aragu or whatever they're called. I mean, so now we're moving into this is like a social, kind of a social aspect where I talked a little bit of this about on Sunday night that one of the reasons why people are looking for a scapegoat is because nothing has ever been resolved. So like the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Do you know what the Jeffrey Epstein thing was like? When you were a kid, when I was a kid, we used to sneak into this X-rated drive-in theater sometimes, or they had at the very back of it, they had a big fence, and it was weird because they had I don't know, it was like a platform. Like if you were to stand on this platform, you could be a painter or something like that. You could sit on, you could look into it, you could look through the space in the boards that made up the fence, and you could watch the X-rated movie, right? And it was like, we would do this, and the X-rated movie would be some fucking French art X-rated film, like one of the Emmanuel movies. And the scene is like she's got her skirt off, and they're at dinner with all these people, and some guy's shoving a carrot from the table up her yoni, and it's like, we snuck in for this shit. Come on, man. We want to see some real action here. I mean, that's kind of what it's like. That's what Epstein was like. Epstein was like, okay, and I knew nothing was really going to come of it, but nevertheless, we wanted to see some action, and instead we get fucking Emmanuel. And like, what? This is what turns people on over there, man. These people are. By the way, Maria, that's not meant specifically for you. But that's where we are with this Sun-Mars square. And people, I'm telling you, man, the closer that sun moves into that square with Mars, patience mighty low. Mighty low. I would say head on a swivel. That's what I would say. Head on a swivel, mighty low. Let's see. We also have the moon conjunct Jupiter in Gemini, so we're very talkative today. There's a lot of communication going on, and every emotion is a big emotion. If you're a parent or your mother, be prepared for that. We also had the interest rates slightly reduced. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? They slightly reduced the interest rates. Oh, just before the election. How nice of you. And in there, of course, we have some squarage going on because, again, by degree, the moon is squaring the sun. And by later tonight, that moon is going to be in Cancer, and it is going to be very sensitive. Very sensitive. If you're a parent, get ready. Get ready to hear the stories from your kids. Mom, I can't believe she said that. I can't believe that bitch said that. Everybody's on a bit of pins and needles here. And it's only going to get more intense, especially tomorrow when that moon comes in and starts conjuncting Mars and that sun goes into a deeper square mode. Tomorrow's going to be a doozy. Let me tell you. It'll be a doozy. We're moving out of that Sun-Neptune opposition. That's why I think that this hurricane will be not as bad. If we had, it's still, Neptune's the god of water here. And if it was in Virgo, late Virgo, then I think it's very problematic. But it's moving into Libra. Now the sun is moving closer into that south node with them, and the moon does rule the tides now, doesn't it? I don't know. To me, Libra just feels more passive than turgid Scorpio. I think you folks in Florida are going to be okay. I don't necessarily think it's going to be, you're going to get out of this scot free, but I think you're going to be okay. So batten down the hatches, do what you need to do. And you know, Libra's always about helping other people. It's not service like Virgo, but it is pretty fair. Like you look around and go, okay, well, you know, who needs a lift? To me, that's Libra. Balancing the scales. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. The Moon Jupiter square to Moon Jupiter conjunction squaring Saturn. Although the big square is an ongoing Jupiter Saturn square, which is, I think, being very selective about your resources. Jupiter is going to go retrograde at about 25 degrees. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Okay, I think that does it for the weather portion of the show. Let's talk about our True Hemp Science star of the day. By the way, Chris told me to say thank you to everybody who supports the show and buys his wonderful products. And let's see what we got here. There we go. So let me just talk a bit about True Hemp Science. It is your one-stop shop for all things CBD and hemp related. And of course, when you spend $100 or more and you type in 15MINS, you get the goodie bag, which has more than that. But again, trust me, the goodie bag is worth it. And $150 or more get you free shipping. I was talking to a longtime viewer, listener yesterday, and he has been such a devoted customer to Chris. He's carved out his own discount deals. Imagine that. So this is the beautiful thing about dealing with a sole proprietor business. If you're consistent, you can call him up. He's got a phone relationship with him, and he's purchased enough CBD products in the past to go even deeper on the discount level. See, that's the beautiful thing about this. And he's got his True Hemp Science cocktail down, his daily cocktail down. So anyway, 15MINS, $100 or more, you get the free goodie bag. $150 more, you get free shipping, and there's always a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, our True Hemp Science star of the day is Kevin Sorbo, also known as Hercules, also known as Heracles. They're both the same character. And I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at his chart. And he's one of these 12th house people. And if you were here 3 weeks ago when I went deep diving into the 12th house, I think his picture might have come up. And remember, there's something mythic about people that have the sun in the 12th house. It's the oddest thing because they're not seen, and yet they're larger than life. So of course he plays Hercules. He plays a mythical character who has, great strength and the ability to meet these challenges. And we see this also with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in the first house in Scorpio. To me, again, that's very mythical and kind of larger than life. I'll never forget. I had this when I was doing tarot. I had this woman who she would come up to me at the Whole Life Expo when I would do it like 2 times a year in California, and she believed in her heart of hearts that her and Kevin Sorbo were soulmates. I swear to God. And she had me do a reading on this. I'm like, okay, all right, well, hey, and then she came back the next time, and I thought, oh, we're going to talk about something else. No, it was even more obsessed. And I'm just wondering, like, how many women at the height of Hercules were obsessed with Kevin Sorbo? Because that's the energy of Scorpio. It's obsessive. This woman she was obsessed with him. And when you have Neptune in the first house, people will project onto you. And he's got a Jupiter Pluto sextile, and he's got a Jupiter Pluto Jupiter moon trine, ironically, and Neptune moon trine. So again, there's a lot of sort of dreamlike projection onto him as an individual. He's a Libra rising, and he's got the true node in Libra in the first house. And I think he's probably done a pretty good job of following his path. He went to college, and he modeled, right? Like that's how he made money on the side when he was in college. He was a model. And eventually he shows up in LA and starts to show up on like soap operas. And there was a TV show or a movie that he almost got. It was like, I forget the name of it, but there was a major movie, and he was like second for the movie, and it was a huge movie, and he didn't get it, right? And this is all pre Hercules. But that Hercules show, which lasted 6 seasons, was the highest rated syndicated show in television at the time. And of course, it spawns Xena, the warrior princess. But we get this kind of mythical vibe from him. And of course, he has Mars, which is the highest planet in his chart. And it's in Gemini, and it squares Pluto and the moon. And one of the things that happened to him, I think it was maybe season 5 of Hercules, is he had an aneurysm in his shoulder from doing all the stunts. I think he did a lot of the stunts, and he could barely do those last 2 seasons. And again, this in conjunct with Neptune, not many people knew that. So they had to kind of write the series around other people and guests, and a lot of the action stuff they would do, and he was involved. And to me, if you look at it from the story of Hercules just in general and meeting these 12 tests, right? The Mars Pluto square, the Mars Moon square kind of represents that. Mars Pluto square is very intense, and will basically fight to the death, right? Or express itself to the death. And that's the nature of the Mars Pluto square. And he has this he's interesting too, because the 11th house tends to be social, like social media. And Kevin Sorbo has had kind of a second career as being one of the few people in Hollywood who is outwardly conservative. And you can see that with all the Virgo planets in his 11th house. You think of Kevin's, it's funny, the other guy who seems to be very conservative is Scott Baio, who's born on the same day I was. And they're born 2 days apart. So they're, it's like when the left counts all of their fantastic, it's like all the celebrities on the left side, you've got the Diddy stain. These guys don't have no Diddy stain. But yeah, I said, well, you got Kevin Sorbo, and you got Kid Rock, and you got Scott Baio. Look who we have. Yeah. Like those guys are B-listers, although Kid Rock has he's got a little bit of a scandalous past. But these other guys, they're tidy whitey. So who cares? But you can see that in the 11th house. Virgo's a conservative sign, and he's on Twitter. Oh, James Woods. We got to throw James Woods in there. Uranus in the 10th house, and it's in Leo. Oh, you sure this tab instead? No, you didn't see his chart. Oh, here we go. Thanks, Tom. There's the chart. Sorry, I didn't click the chart back room. So here it is. I can set it up for you. Libra rising, Trudeau to Libra. Hey, the guy's good looking. He's taking advantage of all that Libra, right? And like I said, he was a model, paved his way economically through college. And then this is the mythical part, Jupiter, Neptune. And then, conjunct in the first house, kind of larger than life. And to me, Neptune is mythical, a sun in the 12th house. He's sort we don't, he also, I think he was also on this TV show Andromeda for about 5 seasons, but we don't know him as the captain of the ship of Andromeda. We know him as Hercules, right? He's an archetype. When you think of Hercules, you think of this guy. It's a total 12th house sun. Uranus in the 10th house, I think, is, to me, it would represent both sudden success and then I would say failure. That would not be the word, but not as successful, right? So he has this kind of early period where he's working his way through Hollywood and kind of doing these B films or whatever, some soap operas, and then he stumbles into Hercules, right? And that's Uranus, and he becomes one of the most famous faces in the world. Those 6 seasons that he was on Hercules, that was a syndicated show, and he could rival any face on any TV show on the network, any network, right? And then after 6 seasons, he's gone, and it takes him a while, and he becomes captain of the ship Andromeda, which is a Gene Roddenberry show. So there's all of his conservative stuff, right? 11th house, Virgo tends to be conservative, and he's one of these guys who is on Twitter, and he's unabashedly conservative. And interesting. The Chiron Moon conjunction, that's fascinating. When you read his bio, he's been married to the same woman for a long time. Like he met her on the set of Hercules. And this is one of those things where people will say, well, it's very hard to have a relationship with the South Node in the 7th house. No, that's not true. As long as you are self-actualizing, the relationship will fall into place. Right? So he met somebody on the set, and to me, Hercules is very Aries-like in general, because he has these 12 feats that he has to overcome and become the master of, right? So there is actually an asteroid named Heracles, which is essentially Hercules, and I put it in his chart, and it's right here, 27 Pisces, and it is, I believe, retrograde, and it's in his 5th house, which represents acting. The 5th house is performance, pastimes, ruled by Leo. So he gets to play Heracles or Hercules as an actor. Vega is the closest big star in the Hercules asteroidal world. So I put Vega in, and it's in Capricorn in the 3rd house. I'm not sure how much that actually influences his chart. Yeah, I think his mother was probably unusual. I know nothing about his mother, but his mother was probably very unusual. And I would say that his mother would have been both alternately detached and overcaring. I'm not quite sure how that would look, but that would be my take on his mother. Detached and overcaring. He's got this moon nap. He actually has a pretty good chart, to be honest with you. Like this T square, I think is interesting. And he's got Mars in the 8th house. So this is a guy that when he wants something, he can go after it. And that Mars in Gemini is extremely restless. I think Hercules was a good role for him because it allowed him to be athletic and move a lot. But then ultimately, he had that aneurysm in the shoulder, and there's that in conjunct with Neptune. And that was kind of serious for him. And after the series ended, he went through, he went through some health crises, and he actually attributes his wife of helping him out a lot through that health crises. So again, there's that Moon Chiron conjunction. At a certain point, even though we don't necessarily want this, but if you're a guy, the Moon, which is your mother, winds up becoming the female partner in your life. Right? That's how it works. And if you're a woman, Saturn, which is the father, winds up becoming the male partner in your life. It's how it works. And so what we have to do is we have to work through, the images and the chords of our parents so we can have the right representation of what those two planets are in real time. And that's one of the most challenging things to do, is to work past those chords and relationships. Anyway, he has an interesting chart. And I think that the 10th house, 12th house sun really speaks to it, right? And even that trine with Mars, which is again all about strength and meeting these obstacles and, representing this kind of warrior-like energy. So there you go. Kevin Sorbo, your True Hemp Science star of the day. And I think I got in here in record time, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Well, thank you. It feels like we had a very full and nutritious breakfast here with astrology and the star of the day. So I hope you go forth into this day and are successful, and your relations with people are meaningful. And at the end of the day, you can look back on it, whether it was easy and flowing or frustrating or both, that you can say you got the most out of it. And with that, I will see some of you either on Rumble or over on 15 Minutes, where we will discuss the Great Dystopia. That sounds like a wonderful, wonderful topic, doesn't it? Anyway, God bless you all. Treat each other well, and use your head in order to discern what's real and your heart to step what's possible. I'm Robert Phoenix. Take good care. Bye for now.